The Evil Dead is a 1981 horror film directed by Sam Raimi, who you might know better for such films as the Spider Man trilogy and Darkman. It stars Bruce Campbell and really nobody else that anybody's heard of except for that they starred in The Evil Dead. The Evil Dead has attained cult classic status and was followed by two sequels: The Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, and Army of Darkness, which was initially titled Medieval Dead. What do I think of it? Eh. The Evil Dead is different from the other two films in this series in that it has almost no intentional comedy elements, unlike the second and third film that are predominantly comedies. Instead, it tries to go for straight ahead horror. And in that regard, I have to say I think it failed. While there are some creepy scenes in the film, most notably in the basement when blood starts dripping out of light sockets and a film projector, that's the exception. A lot of the film has some really bad stop motion work, especially in the scene when all of the zombies' heads start dissolving. And the scene with the rape by trees is truly more cringeworthy than frightening. That being said, the film does have some interesting aspects, such as its use of a decoy protagonist before Bruce Campbell's Ash is revealed to be the hero. However, if one has watched Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness first, like I did, this really sort of loses some of its effectiveness because Ash is the only one who's in all three of these movies. Um, a couple of interesting notes about this film is it was filmed under some of the most adverse circumstances imaginable. All of the cast and crew had to stay in this cabin in Tennessee that was not insulated and had no indoor plumbing, and by the end of shooting, they were down to burning the furniture for heat. In addition, Bruce Campbell fell down a hill and injured his leg, and walks with a noticeable limp through several scenes in this movie. Uh, another Another interesting little Easter egg in the film is the torn "The Hills Have Eyes" poster in the basement, which mirrors the fact that in the original "The Hills Have Eyes" from 1977, there is a torn Jaws poster. The implication being that "The Hills Have Eyes" was scarier than Jaws, and "The Evil Dead" was scarier than "The Hills Have Eyes." This trend would later continue in Nightmare on Elm Street, where the characters watch The Evil Dead on television, and in The Evil Dead 2, where Freddy Krueger's glove can be seen in the basement. But overall, the film doesn't have a great story, and the special effects aren't great. It's really the directing and the performances that make this a film that anybody should watch. For me personally, it's a one and done film. Stick with the sequels.